United States as it gets the Gold Cup going 6 days from now. But a chance for both teams to try and round out the qualifying stage in the second round with perfection. And 4 wins from 4 is on hand for both of these teams in what is an 18th meeting all time between these nations and a 3rd time in World Cup qualifying. It's still possible they play in the 3rd round with more at stake. Just 12 teams advancing. We have a good chunk of them, and you're beginning to see the players that will impact this 4th and final game between Jamaica, the Reggae Boys, and Guatemala, Los Chapines. Nations that are trying to set history. Guatemala trying to reach the World Cup for the first time ever. Jamaica trying to reach it for the first time since 1998. They want a repeat of what they had in France just before the turn of the century. Both teams have accomplished this step in that journey. They will advance to the 3rd round, but can they do so in style, with some command? They play here today at Independence Park. The anthems for both teams coming up as Jamaica takes on Guatemala to round out the 2nd round of Concacaf World Cup qualifying. The teams are ready. Jamaica taking on Guatemala to round out Group E action before they play 6 days from now to open up the Gold Cup. These nations face off in Kingston at Independence Park. It's a matchup that historically Jamaica has dominated, winning 11 of 17 meetings. On just 2 times have Guatemala won. But they'll take confidence that the last time they played in a World Cup qualifier, in October of 2012, it was Guatemala who won 2-1 at home. An 85th minute winner secured things for the home side on that occasion when they last met in Jamaica. In a World Cup qualifier, Jamaica won 2-1. They split those meetings in 2012. Now 13 years later, they play just the one time in this round. Still a chance for another meeting. But we can look now at Jamaica's lineup. 4 changes made after their 1-0 win at the British Virgin Islands in their last match, the one that secured them past. Ronaldo Cephas playing up front. Watch out for Warner Brown. It was the goal that he scored that separated the 2 sides. Brilliant assist from Damari Gray, who plays on the left wing of this 4-2-3-1 shape for Steve McLaren. He was one of the more threatening players in the day. Damari Gray was for Jamaica. David Gomez, Carlos Fernandez, Heriel Valverde, Pablo Camacho make up this 4-man officiating crew from Costa Rica. The captains, Jose Pinto and Andre Blake, posing for a pre-match photo. Now, Guatemala, in more thrilling fashion, secured their spot in the next round. A 4-2 come-from-behind win in Guatemala City over the Dominican Republic. There are 5 changes made by Luis Fernando Tena to this side here today that also lines up in a 4-2-3-1 shape. You can look up front. Archimedes Ordonez and Ojer Escobar both were second-half substitutes that made some big impact as they scored 3 second-half goals in their comeback 4-2 win. They were subs, Ordonez and Escobar were. This time they'll try and test that man, Andre Blake, the captain, making an 84th appearance for the Reggae Boys in our match this evening. Historic dominance in this head-to-head matchup, but these are 2 nations that have not had much success qualifying for World Cups historically. We've laid it out for you. Jamaica the one time, Guatemala in search of that first time. Those goals are still both mutually achievable. 12 nations are advancing to the 3rd and final round. These 2 are among them. They'll wait until June 12th, 2 days from now, to figure out who exactly they will face in the 6 final qualifying matches this year. But a chance to put their claim at the top of the group for both teams in this head-to-head 1 versus 2 meeting in Group E. Ojer Escobar will get things going in that center circle. Wearing the white kits with that blue stripe are going to be Guatemala, the visitors, who will attack from right to left, with Jamaica in their yellow and green kits attacking from left to right. Jack Edwards with you in the broadcast booth. An early free kick. Archimedes Ordonez rather, bowling over an opponent's, results in a free kick. Oscar Santis scored a hat-trick in that 4-2 win. He also assisted Nicolas Samayoa for the 4th of the 4 goals that Guatemala scored against the Dominican Republic. Both of those players are on the bench here today as both nations make some tweaks, try new things out. Jamaica, a group that is still finding its footing as a group together. There's Amari Bell, one of those changes at left back. It's a long ball over the top, one for Brown to try and latch onto. Doing his best to keep it in play, unable to do so. It's out here for a Guatemalan goal kick. You see Steve McLaren now into his 13th match with Jamaica. Turned 64 at the beginning of May. His remit since coming in July of last year is simple: get to the World Cup. They've got a very good chance of doing that. They'll be in the first pot of the teams that are selected It's based on FIFA ranking, not based on placement in the second round. Just merely advancing is enough for both of these sides. As Andre Blake clicks this one up. Guatemala, in comparison, will be in the third pot, most likely, barring some late changes. Their 106th ranking in FIFA's ranks put them just behind Curacao, who are at the bottom of the second pot. Jamaica's ranking of number 63 is good for third best for teams at this stage. Behind Panama and Costa Rica. Look on Luis Fernando Tena, appointed in 2021. Steady growth for Guatemala. They're going to make a 21st Gold Cup appearance this summer, playing at Dignity Health Sports Park on the 16th, 7 p.m. local time in Carson, California, at the home of the LA Galaxy of Major League Soccer. These teams meet to start group play of a fresh competition. A busy summer in Concacaf, all the way back to Nicholas Hagen, a man who did not have his finest performance against the Dominican Republic. Don't want to solely blame him for both of the first two goals, but he spilled the first. The second one get between his legs. He'll be looking for redemption in Jamaica. Pinto goes back to Hagen. Patient builds. Guatemala in the first few minutes of the match. First meeting since a 2023 friendly, finishing a scoreless draw between these nations. Typically tight affairs, all over the top. Blake off his line, able to knock it forward. No flag for offside. Blake continues. First touch by Lemus, brings it forward. Nonsense clearance upfield, finds Brown. He's able to bring it under his spell. They try and turn it forward. Good challenge by Guatemala, wins this one back. Here's Leon Bailey. He came off the bench in that match last time out against the British Virgin Islands. He showed some brief moments of threat. Nothing of real tangible substance. It was a surprising result. Jamaica versus the British Virgin Islands, who had fallen in defeat, not scored a goal in their first 3 qualifying matches in the second round. They'd made it the furthest they ever have in the qualifying phases. They beat the U.S. Virgin Islands in a shootout to get to that point. It was the 4th and final game, but it was just a 1-0 win. That man scored the goal. He complains in this instance. He doesn't think he committed a foul. But it was the second meeting all time between Jamaica and the British Virgin Islands. You see again the challenge put in by Oscar Castellanos, not whistled by the referee, much to the home crowd's frustration. This one would be from Brown. Got a bit of the ball, a lot of the man. But Jamaica had won 12-0 in their 1994 Caribbean Cup meeting between them and the British Virgin Islands. Their second meeting finished a much more respectful 1-0 to the Reggae Boys. It was enough in the end. All they needed was the 1 goal to advance to this stage. Point would have sufficed, but they are perfect through 3 games so far. Header won by Lowe. Forward now to Morales. Aguilar. Solid pass between the lines. It's returned by Lemus. It's a good idea forward. Able to pick out an option on Ordonez. Coming onto it though is Bell. Past one, his clearance upfield blocked. It's out now for a Jamaican throw-in. Here's Mason Holgate now. Big booming ball forward. Aiming for Cephas, not able to quite pick out his forward option. This is kept in play. Lati Bauder moves it back to Damian Lowe, making a 73rd cap. Mason Holgate making a 6th. Back-to-back starts for Holgate. Richard King, his center back partner, swapped out of the lineup. It is the benefit of qualifying in 3 matches. It allows both coaches to experiment with a little less risk. Performance is still very important, especially for the home side, Jamaica. It's in effect send-off match to the Gold Cup, as we see again just the challenge put in, the foul committed. Knocking over Oher Escobar. Offside flag goes up. Pressure won't be able to be applied by Guatemala going up against Ordonez. Here's Lowe. Sprays a pass forward. Header falls to Cephas. Russell. Cephas making the run. Underlapping in front of him. Russell trying to work against a few Guatemalan bodies. Ends up winning a throw in. Lati Bauder goes back to Lowe. Stooping header out. Jamaican throw in. The team's trading early possession. Guatemala controlling a bulk of it. This is the longest spell for Jamaica in the ascendancy as Bell looks ahead. As it poked away from his feet for a moment. Press pays off. It's won back by Jamaica. Lati Bauder. Drop of the shoulder, pokes it back to Russell. Cephas driving, and a defender gets to the end line, drives it into the area, and not been able to claim it. But Ronaldo Cephas is coming off a great Unity Cup at the end of May. 1-2 penalties and a 3-2 draw against Trinidad and Tobago. He had 2 assists from similar moves as this, driving to the end line with his speed and trying to generate something. In that instance, it was too central to the goalkeeper. In the match before that, a win in Gold Cup qualifying over St. Vincent and the Grenadines that sealed their spot in the upcoming Gold Cup. He also scored a goal. It was the British Virgin Islands match just a few days ago, the quietest we've seen from Cephas in a little while. Down in a bit of discomfort after the challenge from Amari Bell. We'll see it again here. Eric Lemus going down. It was certainly a heavy challenge. Still waiting for our first shot. 11.5 minutes in between Jamaica and Guatemala. Match fighting for a top spot in Group E. 9 of the 12 spots have been sewn up. A very busy day up and down the region. The most open group, Group F. El Salvador get in with a point. Puerto Rico with a win in their match to try and make things interesting, down 3 points, but with a goal difference edge, so still a solid chance. So it might break in the 18. There's a shot attempt, and Andre Blake able to latch onto it. The captain of the Reggae Boys called into action for the first time. The visitors, Guatemala, who have a good visiting contingent, trying to make things happen with Archimedes Ordonez having a shot that is saved by the goalkeeper. Not bad power considering the angle he was at. Got a Jamaican player down and a bit of discomfort. Good save from Blake. May have been slightly off target, but wasn't in a spot to take any sort of risk. Positive early signs from the visitors. Jamaica resuming play, looking for their own first opportunity towards net. Bell to Holgate. Lati Boder. Returns to the fullback. And it goes now to Mason Holgate. Damari Gray dropping quite deep to get involved in things. It was his passing that was probably the biggest source of joy for Jamaicans in that 1-0 win over the British Virgin Islands. It was, of course, a win, but the performance definitely lacking the intensity they would like to carry over into future matches. But Damari Gray had a few fine moments. He had the assist, he had a few defense-splitting passes. There's Ronaldo Cephas. He was kept relatively in check by a very deep block from the British Virgin Islands. Holgate allowed to carry it forward. Bell. Leon Bailey drops the shoulder. He goes down, appealing for a foul, won't get one. It's a clever idea, picking out Escobar in a bit of space, aiming for an angled pass forward. It almost broke kindly for Ordonez, but Blake, under relatively no pressure, can play it back in. Bailey. 3 surrounding him in white. Fitting a player of his profile. Takes a quick throw. It's a good idea. Trying to cause some chaos in the 18. They got 2 players onto it, but it's cleared away by Guatemala. Here's Damari Gray. Again, Bailey involved. Low. His pass there was read, intercepted. Nathaniel Mendez, the player in that instance who got onto the ball. That's a great turn in the midfield. Escobar able to escape some danger. Ordonez, though, gets his touch all wrong. May have been startled by the offside flag, which had gone up on the far side of the field. And it's a free kick for Jamaica. Just watch his positioning here. Looks to be onside there. Well, pass made a moment later. And he's definitely offside in that instance. Ordóñez, a 5th cap for him in search of his first goal. Bailey. A drop of the shoulder, a shot from distance, and a save from Nicholas Hagen. He gets down and makes the stop. First attempt now for Jamaica. First one on target. It was speculative from Leon Bailey. Always expect the goalkeeper to handle it from that distance at that height. But he has that quick turn of pace. The ability to create something out of nothing. 38 appearances, 2 goals, 4 assists for Aston Villa across all competitions. In the Premier League, the Champions League. A season that ended just short for the English side of returning to the Champions League. Bailey brings a severe pedigree to this Jamaican side. There's Castellanos, the Antigua man. His pass a little heavy. You can see the idea, dropping it forward, aiming for Bailey. Under his spell now. Quickly laid off to Latiboder. Gray. Latiboder. Bailey. He's got his man one-on-one. Bailey, a great cut pass to Russell. Stands it up to the back post. And it's a real smart play by Morales to chest it down. Nicholas Hagen. What an idea here. Movement from Russell was good. Just no one to attack that back post. Put it in between 2 options, but good work from Jonathan Russell. Scored in the Unity Cup final against Nigeria 2 matches ago for the Reggae Boys. Great experience against some top-level opposition. Played Trinidad and Tobago, won 3-2, courtesy of a late winner. Went to a shootout after a 2-2 draw with Nigeria. They fell in that shootout. Tana looking on after a foul won by Escobar. That's what this match really is for these 2 teams. Opportunities for individual players to step up and command a role in the side for the matches coming up. Of course, there are some regular faces. It's not solely opportunities for those who haven't had them. Rodrigo Saravia, Jose Pinto, Jose Morales, Oscar Castellanos, all players with at least 40 caps for the Guatemala team playing out there. Low is being given space to carry it into. Hayden trying that pass forward. Gets it to another option forward. Low ball is dangerous. Attacking it at the near post was Warner Brown. Just couldn't get there in time, and a very grateful Nicholas Hagen lands on it. Ronaldo Cephas moving around, getting to that far side of the field. We've seen him take on defenders and drive to that end line, both onto his right foot and his left foot. In that instance, the low ball in, claimed by Hagen. Back in play with Jamaica. Latiboder. Bailey. Past 1. Bailey. Second challenge. Also can't take it off his foot. Corner is the result. First of the match for either side. Leon Bailey will take an interest in it. Good challenge put in by Carlos Aguilar to make life difficult for the winger. Some pushing and shoving in the 18 as Bailey delivers this in-swinger. Dangerous delivery. Down for Brown. And his shot over the bar. Frustration for the man who scored the lone goal last match. He can't make it 2-2. He'll want this one back. He just gets under the effort and blasts it over the goal. A good first touch to get it out in front of him, but he was just losing his feet. You can see was falling to the ground, trying to lift that one with power. Too much power. He got a first goal for Jamaica in the 3-0 win over St. Kitts or St. Vincent and the Grenadines earlier this campaign. Scored last match, his first goal in qualifying play. Shows good strength to poke it out to Leon Bailey. The referee may come back to that moment. Bailey onto the left. It gets to Russell. Just trying to keep things in the 18. Damari Gray now. The Reggae boys beginning to show off their dribbling pedigree. The man who got the assist for that Brown goal last match. Damari Gray trying to get involved in things. There'll be a long throw here for Mason Holgate. No, it won't. Latiboudère, the fullback, will take a more customary option for the throw in. It's well done by Leon Bailey under the pressure of Mendez. Just kicks it off the Guatemalan, and it's another corner, another in-swinger. They generated a decent opportunity from the last set piece. What do they have in store for corner number 2? Bailey, a deeper delivery this time. It's over everybody. Mason Holgate went down in the 18. Expressed some belief he was fouled. David Gomez waving away any appeals. Jose Morales, 28-year-old fullback, in discussion. 2 assists for Morales in that 4-2 win over the Dominican Republic. Pick those up from the left-hand side, show off his versatility here. Here's Leon Bailey. Holding off one challenge, rolls it back to Latiboudère. Few options for the fullback. Delivery in, knocked away by Guatemala, brought down by Ordóñez. Chance maybe to try and break forward. Mendez, the first-time ball, able to pick out an option. That's a good challenge from behind. Jamaica win it back. And now the game getting a bit stretched here. Damari Gray. Bailey lets it run a little wide. Latiboudère making the run. Bailey delivers the ball. The header down into the back of the net. Hagen couldn't stop it. And Russell, his 3rd for Jamaica, gives them a lead 25 minutes into the match. The midfielder, coming from a deep lying position, gets into the 18 and knocks home a fine bit of service from Leon Bailey. Always favored to win that header when he gets in front of Morales. And it was a decent effort from Hagen. He gets close to this one, but the header was well placed low, aiming for that bottom left corner. And the home side find themselves a goal in front. Jonathan Russell, his 3rd goal now. Scored the first goal for Jamaica in the 2023 Gold Cup. Mentioned that goal he had against Nigeria just a few weeks ago. Takes advantage of a 2nd straight start in World Cup qualifying to make things 1-0 Jamaica. Back and forth first half, but it's definitely been one-way traffic the last 10 minutes or so. Jamaica on top of Guatemala, and they have a lead to show for it. Mendez holds play up, rolls it along. Chance for Castellanos to slide it along. Pinto, you can see what he was trying there. Just goes between a few options. Low waves Holgate back to his center back position and gives it to Amari Bell. Bell playing in that fullback role. On it now. He captained the side at the Unity Cup. Didn't start last time out. Greg Lee got that honor. There's a pulling of the shirt. There's an appeal for a yellow card from Archimedes Ordonez. Isaac Hayden, the midfielder, in discussions with the referee, making his 7th appearance for Jamaica. We'll see again, just a little bit of a tug, holding back his opponent. Results in the free kick, no yellow card. Much the frustrations of Archimedes Ordonez. Holgate down, a bit of an issue for Jamaica. Chance here at the half-hour mark for both teams to have some instruction. McLaren to Jamaica, Fernando Tena to Guatemala. Bailey does very well to just drag this one wide, gets his head up, looks at his options, and it's really good delivery in. Something that Jamaica really lacked against the British Virgin Islands for large spells was getting numbers forward. Their goal came from a set piece when they naturally had options in the box, but that was a midfielder crashing towards goal and offering an option for a winger who just delivered some fine service into the box. It's always easier when you're able to nitpick off the back of a win rather than try and pick through the bones of a match where you don't get all 3 points. Both of these countries have had some fine success so far in qualifying. Jamaica lead 1-0, a set piece opportunity as we resume play just past the half-hour mark. Mendez lays one in, a good cutback. Morales gets his footing wrong there. That's a good chance engineered by Guatemala off of this set piece. A few low passes and you have a decent opportunity in the 18, not able to test Andre Blake, who has a goal kick. Bailey sprays one forward, takes an awkward bounce, no nonsense clearance from Ardone. All the way back to the Jamaica skipper. Cephas, look at that speed. Gets past one, delivery's dangerous. And Warner Brown's header just off target. He's had a few chances trying to add another for Jamaica. But Ronaldo Cephas, when he puts his head down and just says, I'm gonna go, it's hard to keep up with him. That delivery a little high. But man, can he generate a chance out of nothing. A fullback's nightmare when he stands them up. But Warner Brown continues to be a threat. It's a free kick here for Jamaica. Quickly taken to Bell. Latiboder. Damari Gray swings it around. Leon Bailey already 1 assist today. Just gets his footwork wrong there. Continues to be forced back by Aguilar. He's forced all the way back. So a fullback roll. Gives it to Lowe. Gives it to his center back partner, Mason Holgate. He tries one forward. Good control out of the sky. Laid off to Russell. Russell will get it to Bailey in the end. Leon Bailey, he's going to have a shot himself, and Hagen gets an important hand to that. It was destined for the top left corner. He knows it. He knows it. So close from Leon Bailey to making it 2-0. He wants onto that left foot. He gets there. That one may have been striking the post, may have been a little wide. But that's the kind of magic that gets you out of your seat. Bailey will swing around and make things difficult for the goalkeeper again, this time with his presence right next to him in the 6-yard box. Gray's in swinger. Hagen gets a hand to it, punches it away again. And a few moments to answer for the number 1 for Los Chapines. Another switch of play. It's brought down by Damari Gray. He gets it onto his right foot. Low delivery. Did Hagen keep it in play? No, he didn't. Corners the results. Jamaica putting a lot of pressure on Guatemala. We'll see the corner again. Acrobatics from the goalkeeper to punch it clear, away from any danger. Will he be called into action again by Damari Gray? He was thinking and will take this short corner option. Return ball. Damari Gray. Onto his right. He goes down in the 18. It's a penalty. Brought down by Eric Lemus. And David Gomez points to the spot. Jamaica, a golden opportunity to double their advantage. No VAR at this stage of the competition. The call will stand regardless of any protests. Let's see it again. Damari Gray facing off one-on-one. Lemus dives in, gets a bit of contact. It looks to be a penalty. If you reach in like that and don't get the ball, you run the risk of the referee making a decision. And it's a chance from 12 yards out. Leon Bailey. We've seen his quality a few times in this first half. His shot was saved a moment ago. He teed up John Russell with that fantastic delivery in to make it a 0-0. And he's tasked with the opportunity from the spot against Nicholas Hagen. Leon Bailey, it's saved. The rebound knocked home. He'll get his goal. Warner Brown has been knocking on the door all match, and he cleans up the save. Jamaica do make it 2-0. All things considered, it was not the best penalty from Leon Bailey. At a savable height, for Hagen, but it had enough power where he just couldn't quite bring it all under his spell. And it rolls kindly for Brown, who was on hand, getting there first. That's just a hustle play. He deserves that goal, and he gets a goal himself. Goals in back-to-back matches for Jamaica, who are cruising. 2-0. How do Guatemala respond to this? They took the lead in the first half, 6 minutes into the game against the Dominican Republic, but they conceded 2 goals to go into halftime down 2-1. They had a great response. Oscar Santiz completed his hat trick with his 4th goal, with the 4th goal in the match for Guatemala. So they've got experience in this window of coming from behind to get victories, but this is a different test altogether. They're down by 2 goals. They're on the road, and Jamaica look red hot with 7 minutes to go in the first 45. Here's Pinto. Leon Bailey. It's a dangerous pass forward. Hagen able to latch on to it. Damari Gray throws up a positive thumb. You can see Richard King is preparing to come into the match. Looks to be a enforced change coming for the Reggae boys. Here's Russell on the turn. Lays it off. Gray onto his left. He gets under the shot and goes over the goal. You can see there the change. Holgate will make way. King will come in. We saw Holgate down a few moments ago. And he walks off under his own power, but definitely a little bit of discomfort. You can imagine a factor as King comes on for Holgate. Look back to an earlier moment where he kind of dove in on a few occasions. He needed a bit of treatment. A few moments after that, not directly after that, but Richard King comes in now for his 25th appearance for the Jamaican national team. They were center back partners against the British Virgin Islands. And he makes the sub appearance now here. Some early defensive duties for him coming up in just a moment. Ordonez past one, cuts it back. Is there anyone to try and keep it alive? Not able to get there before Ronaldo Cephas Morales. And that was a dangerous moment from Guatemala, who have had some decent half chances, but Pinto, who knocks over Brown, commits the foul. Just good hold-up play from Warner Brown. Gets there first. He gets pushed over. And for a good effect, Jose Pinto boots the ball away, the captain. Here's Lowe. That's King, rather. Playing as the right center back. Flipping spots. Gray. Here's Bailey. Leon Bailey cuts it in for Russell. His delivery spins away. No nonsense clearance upfield by Guatemala. King. Russell. Taken away from his feet. It's a dangerous pass. Flag goes up. There's been a few offside decisions against Ordonez in the first half. Assisted on the far side, seeing the forward for Guatemala just slightly running too soon. Another look at it here. Looks to be just about off. Good work from the Jamaican back line to hold that offside position. Latiboder. Hayden. Bell. Lowe slides it to King here. King rolls it forward. Here's Bailey. Bailey puts the brakes on, returns, gives it to Russell. He returns the favor, gives it back to Bailey. His pass, Latiboder doesn't quite link up. And there's a nice pair of passes there, but the miscommunication between Rodrigo Saravia and his teammate, neither of whom went for it. And Damari Gray just running rings around Guatemala right now. He won the penalty. He wins this free kick right here. Walked into traffic of 4 Guatemalan players and just turned around. He was clipped from behind. A free kick for Jamaica, and maybe a chance as we tick into first half stoppage time to put some numbers forward. There's going to be 3 minutes added on at the end of our first 45. Challenge put in, clean one. Bell. Cephas, and where he's trying to go. Brings a few defenders with him and returns it to Bell. King. Russell. The return pass, certainly offside. Offside indeed. The flag goes up. Chance gone for Jamaica. Wonder what Steve McLaren's thoughts are on the first 45. Will it be an improvement? As you see, Warner Brown was clearly offside. He's asking why the ball was played to him. Not intentionally, but certainly a step up here for Jamaica from that match against the British Virgin Islands. They didn't look terribly clinical in the final third for large spells of that match, in a game they were heavily favored for. This is certainly a step in the right direction. They're up 2-0. Here the lone downside is any potential issue for Mason Holgate. He went off in the first half. 40 minutes into the game. Atibu there. Final seconds of our first 45. King. Jamaica look content to head into the break with their 2-goal lead. They will do just that. Jonathan Russell, a strong header off of Leon Bailey, cross into the box, opened the scoring. Bailey had a chance from the spot himself. His penalty was saved, but Warner Brown, coming from a late position, pounds it home. It's Jamaica 2, Guatemala 0 as we enter into halftime. First half highlights between Jamaica and Guatemala. It was a strong first 45 minutes from the Reggae boys. Guatemala, some early moments of threat, but really a half that Jamaica will be very happy about from the first 45. The first shot of the match did come from the visitors. A solid save made by Andre Blake on an outside of the foot effort from Archimedes Ordonez. He was involved in the first 45, Ordonez was, but mostly in an offside position. Leon Bailey trying to generate some chances himself. He had a few efforts that were saved by Nicholas Hagen, trying to come off the back of I won't say poor performance against the Dominican Republic, but definitely aiming for a step up in this match against Jamaica. Bailey was a threat. He had this set-piece delivery that led to Warner Brown getting one of his few chances that he put away from net. That one, he just gets under it a little bit, not able to quite put it on frame. This was one of the finer moments of quality in the first half. Leon Bailey just draws that one in and puts a fantastic ball into the box. Jonathan Russell able to knock it down into the back of the net. Makes things a 0-0. Just seeing that run from deep from the midfielder. Bailey certainly did. And he picks him out with that fine ball in. His third goal now for Jamaica. Makes things a 0-0 in the first half. Able to get off to a strong start. Ronaldo Cephas having some moments. There was another one of those Warner Brown chances. He was a serious threat from a deep lying position. Again, Bailey, he had the assist. He wanted a goal himself. That's a good save from Nicholas Hagen. Just gets a right paw to it to knock it away. Out for a goal kick. The short corner was delivered back to Damari Gray. And just reaching in with a poor challenge was Eric Lemus. Trying to win the ball, only takes down the man. And Leon Bailey would have his penalty kick saved. But Warner Brown, talk about instinct, desire, and reaction. He gets there first on the loose ball, knocks it home, and makes things 2-0. Gets there before the penalty taker even did, and scores goals now in back-to-back games for Jamaica, doing his best to command a spot coming up in the Gold Cup and beyond. Jamaica have got themselves currently in top spot in Group E of Concacaf World Cup qualifying. The stats will back it up as well. Very controlling performance so far from Jamaica. 62% possession, a shot edge as well. 9-2 they lead there, with 5 of those shots being on target. They have been very threatening. What are the responses going to be from the two teams? After 45 minutes, Jamaica up by 2-0 over Guatemala, trying to go 4 for 4 and pick up 12 points in the second round of Concacaf World Cup qualifying. lost top spot in Group E. And Jamaica get us back underway in the yellow and green kits from right to left up against their opponents from Guatemala in the white and blue kits. Eric Lemus made way. Rudy Munoz coming into the match. Lemus, who committed the foul for the penalty. It wasn't scored immediately by Bailey. His shot was saved by Nicholas Hagen, but the rebound knocked home by Warner Brown made things 2-0. And Jamaica hold a commanding lead. What is the response going to be from the home team? Are they going to try and attack while they have the initiative, keep pressing numbers forward, or are they content to try and see out a result? That's a beautiful pass forward, brought down by Brown. The touch taken away from him. Played forward to Escobar. Again, a dangerous pass forward, picking out Brown. Russell with Gray. Had a few right over his shoulder, and it falls kindly for Jamaica. Cephas. It's a clever idea to swing it out to the far side of the field. Change of piece for both sides. First half change for Jamaica, halftime change for Guatemala. Here's Amari Gray. As things stand, Jamaica will have 12 points from an available 12 at this stage of the competition. They will advance number 1 in Group E. Guatemala, they also booked their spot in the next round with their win in the last match they had against Dominican Republic, a 4-2 comeback win at home. The Pots are determined already. That's a heavy challenge put in. It's going to be a foul. Damian Lowe whistled for the infraction against Jose Morales. The referee looks like he's saying you played the ball, so he's saying, yeah, just be careful. That is some good refereeing right there. You could see the intent to win the ball was there. He got a bit of it. Definitely a heavy challenge. If you see yellow there, if you're low, you can't be complaining too much. But I also like the simple warning. Make sure the game doesn't boil over. Jose Morales back onto his feet as well helps things certainly. Steve McLaren. And his side can continue the form they showed in the first 45. They beat the British Virgin Islands to secure their spot in the third round, but it was not their most convincing performance by a long shot. That first half was more of what they'd like to see, but do Guatemala have a response, an ability to test Jamaica? Another change to tell you about there, with Franco coming in, Castellanos coming out. That's some really good flicks. It gets to the edge of the 18. A brilliant challenge. A last-ditch challenge. Had to be perfect. It was indeed. Russell also gets a clean one in. Damari Gray skips past Morales. He's got Cephas his outside. Two options with him. Damari Gray. Cephas. It's blocked. Bailey will latch onto it. The referee's going to stop play. Looks to be a head issue on the blocked shot. Cephas lasering one forward. Yeah, that's not a fun one for Rodrigo Saravia. We see again the challenge. That is inch perfect. And it had to be from Richard King. Some really clever flicks from Escobar. But King knew there were players bearing down on him when he dove in and just trapped the ball with his feet. One of those challenges where if you get it wrong, he's looking at a penalty, a yellow card at the very least. But when it goes right, you win the ball back, you almost generate a counter going the other way. And there is Franco, who comes on for another appearance for his national team, making way with Castellanos. Still some more options on the bench. You can see Pedro Altan, one of those. Matthew Evans, another Guatemalan option. Evans, a young forward for LAFC. Might be a Guatemala debut if he comes onto the field. The number 9 for Los Chapines. Mostly featured for their second team. 46 appearances, 10 goals scored for LAFC 2. The man on the bench. Play resumes. Saravia is ready to come back into the game after getting a bit of treatment. A moment to collect himself. Saravia rejoins the action. Nati Bauder drops one forward. Return to him. Just stands it up. Damari Gray rather see-fast challenging for it. Here is Damari Gray. He sees Russell with his both hands in the air. Opts against playing it to him. Plays the 1-2 with Bell. Gray's pass intercepted. It's a clever idea on the pass. Munoz gets to it. Elsewhere in the group, the Dominican Republic hold a 4-0 lead over Dominica. Currently set to pick up 6 points from 4. The Dominican Republic they won't advance in third spot. Those were already buttoned up by Jamaica and Guatemala with 3 wins from 3. They'll await the draw on Thursday to see who they will play in September, October, and November to determine who will play in the 2026 World Cup coming to Concacaf's backyard. The United States, Mexico, and Canada as hosts already have their spots buttoned up. Group winners for the 3 groups of 4 will all make it, and the 2 best runner-ups of the upcoming groups of 4 will advance to the Inter-Confederation playoffs. We'll go all the way to March 2026 to determine who will make it. So a few opportunities. Both will hope for kind draws, hope for draws that give them the best chance of advancing. It'd be a second World Cup, the first since 1998 for Jamaica, a first ever for Guatemala, who will advance to the final stage of qualifying for the 5th time as a nation. First time pass by Ordonez, a little behind his option, but a free kick won by Guatemala. Good work done by Munoz. It was Aguilar, rather, who was bowled over by Latibauder. Two more spots across Concacaf still up for grabs in the 3rd round. 1 spot left in Group B and in Group F. Whipped in, stooping header away. There's Cephas showing off that speed, and he could spy the challenge from a mile away from Munoz, and a wry smile on Cephas's face. It was a good challenge from the young forward Munoz, the halftime sub. Able to come in support. Mentioned that just 2 spots left up for grabs. Trinidad and Tobago will play against Costa Rica, or at Costa Rica. They just have to avoid a defeat by 6 goals or more, and they are through. So unless Costa Rica have a relatively unprecedented result against Trinidad and Tobago, it will likely be Costa Rica, Trinidad and Tobago out of Group B. Honduras and Bermuda will be advancing from Group A. Curacao and Haiti from Group C. Nicaragua and Panama will be coming out of Group D. Jamaica, Guatemala from our Group E. And the final spot is up for grabs. Suriname have got their spot in the next round. They will face off in a match that is important for others. El Salvador make it in with a point, but Puerto Rico need to win their match and hope for a result elsewhere. We see that shot going off target. Suriname plays against El Salvador. If El Salvador lose and Puerto Rico win, they would advance. So there is a pathway. By the end of the evening, we will know the 12 teams that will still be left standing. The chance to be among as many as 4 that could advance. Touch, aiming for Gray. Strong challenge put in. It rolls back to Hayden. Here's Cephas. Ronaldo Cephas on his right foot, clips it into the box, and Brown, his header goes just over the goal, but he has been a magnet for action. You saw in those halftime highlights, he had shots off target. He was getting involved in things. He's been involved in the build-up in our second half. Another shot off target here. He, of course, has his goal already. 2 goals in 2 games. 3rd goal for him in 2025. Trying to tack on another. Gets under that header. Always challenging to climb high enough to make it a challenge for Nicholas Hagen in the Guatemala net. First time ball. Able to pick out Saravia. Saravia. First time for Mendez, straight to the chest of Andre Blake. Over a decade of service with Philadelphia Union and with Jamaica. It's with his side in the midfield. Russell to Brown. Lays it back to Russell. He's got Cephas staying on side. Few options in the area presenting themselves. Ronaldo Cephas digs it out to the back post. And a shot off the upright. How close was that from Richard King? The center back getting involved on the action. Coming to a back post position from a very deep lying spot. Ronaldo Cephas able to pick him out. And the shot coming off the upright. So close for King, trying to score his 2nd goal. See there, coming into the match is Aaron Herrera. Jose Morales making way. So a like-for-like change at fullback. Herrera, the DC United man, made a start against the Dominican Republic. It was his first of the calendar year. Overall, a 14th appearance now for Guatemala. Back to Blake. Hagen. Here's Herrera now. Franco moves it along. This pass intended forward. It was blocked off. Darwin Lom is preparing to come into the match. Will likely do so for this throw-in. No nonsense clearance by Damian Lowe. Archimedes Ordonez with the player who makes way. He was a second half change against the Dominican Republic. He got the start today, just past the hour mark. Not really able to get a real foothold into the match. He had a shot early on. It was the first shot for either side, a half chance really. Beyond that was caught off sides a few times. But the change made, bringing on Darwin Lom, man who scored 12 times. Plays for Comunicaciones. Picked up the lone goal in a 1-1 draw with El Salvador back at the end of May. He was also sent off in that same match, scored in the 40th, sent off in the 84th. Here's Guatemala now. A few changes made. What changes can they make in this score line? A bit more possession now. Jamaica beginning to sit in a bit more. Long ball forward is speculative. Lom gets ahead to it, but easily claimed in the end by Andre Blake. Lom got the head to that. We mentioned the goal he scored against El Salvador. It was his first goal since the 2023 Gold Cup for Guatemala. Been a almost 2-year gap between goals for him. 27 years of age. Here's Richard King now. Header flicked along. Clearance out of play by Ardone. Edge of the area, Hayden out of his feet, and it's just over the net. Not a half bad chance for Isaac Hayden. One of those changes from match to match after the win against the British Virgin Islands. Hagen relatively quick off the goal kick. Herrera the touchdown. One assist, one penalty save for that man, Leon Bailey. He had his penalty saved. We see again the shot from Hayden. It's not too far away. It's good work out of this from a half chance. Just a midfielder holding his position on the edge of the 18-yard box, trying to make something happen. In that instance, his shot just off frame. That's a poor pass, turned over. Brown not able to punish and capitalize. His effort saved. Another errant pass, though, gives it to Hayden. Warner Brown on the search for another. Mendez plays it forward, lays it off. Nathaniel Mendez. The touch a little heavy from Rudy Munoz. Got a Jamaican player down off the ball. Another one's down as they play a speculative pass forward. Hayden is in a bit of discomfort. Guatemala preparing for their fifth and final change here. Making way will be Nathaniel Mendez. Coming in is Matthew Evans for his Guatemala debut. Mendez, 33 years of age, makes way for the 19-year-old. Plays for LAFC 2. In the third tier of the United States. 10 goals across over 40 appearances under his belt as a professional. Featured for the U20, U18 sides, U17 sides as well for Guatemala. So we see again the chance here for Warner Brown. Credit to Nicholas Hagen, who just makes himself big, closes down the angle, makes it so that Brown doesn't have choice of the entire goal, and that's a really good left-handed stop. Just able to get something on it. Probably would have said it was game, set, and match if Jamaica made it 3-0. Guatemala, they'll stay around, and the heart will stay beating. A draw would be, from this position, a very good result, and it would be one that would put them back on top of the group. It's a point we've belabored, but no change in the seeding directly based upon this result, and who finishes first and second. It could have an impact on your FIFA ranking, which down the road could begin to impact things. But as it stands, Jamaica is set to finish top of the group. Hayden ready to come back into the match. The upcoming draw will put Jamaica in the first spot, Guatemala in the third. Based on teams that could qualify They will not be bumped. There's no chance they're bumped down into the 4th pot. 3rd pot is where Guatemala will land. No one with a superior ranking to Jamaica. Still left to qualify. We'll put them in pot 1. Embrace there between Escobar and King. After a bit of a late challenge there from Escobar. Knocks over the center back. King, the only substitute used so far by Steve McLaren. Came on in the first half. Latiboder won the header. Brown gets to it. Gives it to Gray, who returns the ball. Damari Gray. Here's Leon Bailey. No whistle. Gray cuts it back for Cephas. Ronaldo Cephas gets it to the end line, and it's an important challenge from behind, knocking it out of play by Jose Pinto. Corner comes. Cephas just gets one-on-one. He's so dangerous from that position, and Pinto did very well not to dive in and commit a foul. We've already seen one penalty from Jamaica, courtesy of just a poor challenge in the 18. That was a good one from the captain. And it tees up this set piece. Damari Gray won that penalty that we mentioned. It came in the aftermath of a short corner. Gray's delivery to the near post. Sneaks in. Warner Brown on the double. Back-to-back matches. Damari Gray and Warner Brown combine on a set piece. This time it makes it 3-0 for Jamaica. And the Reggae Boys look set to claim top spot in the group. That is a fantastic finish. Just sticks a foot out as the delivery is dipping towards the ground. Sneaks it past 4 in Guatemalan numbers. A man who entered Saturday's match with 1 goal scored, 2 matches for his country. He's doubled up his appearances over the last few days, up to 4 now, and he's an even 1 goal per match as a ratio. 4 goals now for Warner Brown for Jamaica, 2 of them coming today. Now a chance for some tweaks to be made. Throw-in will come for Guatemala. Both teams made changes knowing their spot was buttoned up. They will play 6 days from now in the Gold Cup. They'll travel up to Dignity Health Sports Park, the home of the LA Galaxy in Major League Soccer. They will play on June 16th, next Monday. That will get their Gold Cup campaigns going. Russell. Good strength from the midfielder. Referee was playing advantage. We'll just let play continue. Romain Burrell and Casey Palmer are both preparing to come into the match for Jamaica. It's a long ball forward. Brown latches onto it, lays it off. A chance for Bailey. His shot just off target. What an opportunity here for Leon Bailey. Just can't quite get that one on target. And a chance now for changes for Jamaica. Damari Gray will make way, as will it looks to be Warner Brown. What a day it's turned out to be for that young man. A brace. He comes off the field. Romain Burrell scored his first goal for Jamaica in the Unity Cup semifinal against Trinidad and Tobago. Also coming onto the field is Casey Palmer in place of Damari Gray. Bailey had his penalty saved, but you can see Brown. So the back of his head there, he sees the back of the net. And then just an instinctive finish at the near post. 2 goals now today. He's got 4 for Jamaica. He entered the calendar year without a goal for his country. He is perhaps the most informed player for Jamaica. Blom, an important first touch there. Back to Blake, who picks it up. But Brown trying to make himself the first name on the team sheet for Steve McLaren. And these teams have a rematch in 6 days' time. You'd be surprised to see Warner Brown's name not in that lineup, considering the production he's provided so far these last few weeks. Burrell challenging for that on a awkward hop. Towering header. It's brought down. Cephas trying to play it along. Burrell, the target of the deflected pass. Palmer loses out to Evans. His pass, though, only gives it to Russell. Cephas skips past one, past another. He's got Leon Bailey with him. He's also got Russell. Bailey was making a dangerous cutting run, just not quite able to be picked upon by Russell. Bailey. Here's Leon Bailey, puts the brakes on. Skips past another. The home crowd loved that. Whips it along to Amari Bell. Cephas. Palmer. Bell. Past one. At the end line. His delivery not able to find a target. It's out for a goal kick, with the home side really getting the fans here at Independence Park going. Good challenge put in. 2 more subs being prepped. Here's Guatemala in the midfield. It's rolled back by Franco. Hagen. Coming together there between 2 Jamaican players. And it's rolled between the lines for Evans. And that one so close to bringing Guatemala into this game with a goal. Matthew Evans, the debutant, just had a shot. He was not too far away, parried away by Andre Blick. Was wondering if that took a deflection or a save along the way, and yes, it did. He was ready to wheel off and celebrate. Obviously would not have been, it would have been a long road back in the comeback for Guatemala, but individual moments, the ones to celebrate. Delivery to the back post. The header up. Takes an awkward spin. Here's Bailey now. Blake. No nonsense forward. Burrell. His pass blocked. And he sees it out. Throw in the results for the Reggae boys. Two changes can come in now for Jamaica. It's a special moment for Tyrese Campbell. He'll make his Jamaica debut here, coming into the match for Ronaldo Cephas. Cephas dangerous today, not able to get on the score sheet himself or contribute to a goal, but heavily involved. And Jonathan Russell will also make way for Ravel Morrison. He'll make a 20th appearance for Jamaica. The 21-year-old Tyrese Campbell comes onto the field. A great year for him with Charlton Athletic. A great year for Charlton Athletic. Part of the side that won the League One promotion playoff final. 1-0 over Leyton Orient. Moving up to the 2nd division in England. Campbell 7 goals and an assist during Charlton's promotion campaign. You can see him playing down the middle for these final few minutes. Challenge coming in. It's one back. From behind, it's going to be a foul. Bell brought down by Evans. And it results in a free kick for Jamaica. With a little more than 5 minutes left. Evans diving in. Challenge from behind, doesn't get the ball, brings down the man. Maury Bell, strong performance from the fullback. Can Jamaica tack on one more for good measure? Palmer is the one who strikes it, and it's just over the goal. Casey Palmer, the Hull City man, just not quite able to test Nicholas Hagen. Good strength shown. Played along by Palmer. 2 goals for Warner Brown, 1 for Jonathan Russell. That's what gives Jamaica their current 3-0 lead and will give them top spot in Group E. It's always interesting when you play the same side in back-to-back games. That's what both of these coaches, both of these sets of players will have to deal with. Rosters slightly expand for both teams. Notable introductions: Ethan Pinnock, Michael Antonio, and Bobby Reed all coming into the Gold Cup squad for Jamaica. So there will be some new faces when these teams play in the United States in 6 days' time. But what does this win do for the preparation? You don't want to say Guatemala held back, but we have not seen Oscar Santis, who scored a hat trick last time out, 15 goals, 10 assists. Palmer. His touch was a little heavy, but as he ran onto it, he was bowled over. It's a free kick. Foul going against Aaron Herrera. It may have been Herrera, rather, who booted it away. Jamaica will be in no rush after the foul from Saravia, and Herrera, in frustration, just boots it away. No rush for Jamaica to get play restarted. Time well on their side. A match they look well on the way of winning. Throw in for Jamaica. Take it as we tick into the final minute of regulation. Palmer fires it through. Burrell. He swings one along. You can see what he was aiming for. It was Latiboder, the fullback, not quite able to latch on to the pass from the Burton Albion man. Grew into things for Burton Albion. 5 goals in 6 games in January. Was the EFL League One Player of the Month for January. Scored 11 goals in all. Followed up that strong year with his first goal for Jamaica. Comes off the bench here today. Good bit of footwork from Bailey. Plays it to Burrell. He tries to drag it across Hagen, who gets down with a right hand and makes the stop. Here in the 90th minute, we will have 3 minutes added on at the end of our 90. As Jamaica look to see out their 3-0 win. For 3 points, Leon Bailey, a good drop of the shoulder. Burrell, would it have been cleared off the line? Perhaps. But not bad from the substitute forward coming into the game. There's a foul from behind. Pinto. Here's Herrera being hassled. by Campbell. He feels that he was fouled. Referee doesn't whistle for it. Bell, Burrell, here's Palmer now. Tyrese Campbell, gives it to Palmer. Something that Steve McLaren has admitted these last few groups they've had, there are players that are getting to know one another. But you can see the obvious progression from the 1-0 win at the British Virgin Islands. A win, a clean sheet, but a little disjointed in attack at times. There were some really fine attacking moments today for Jamaica. A certain step in the right direction. You see good strength from Leon Bailey. His pass a little under hit. He'll commit a foul to stop any potential counter from Olher Escobar. And with a rotated Guatemala side, didn't quite work out the way Luis Fernando Tana wanted it to. But not too often in life do you get the chance to immediately make up for something. And they'll get that opportunity in 6 days' time when the Gold Cup starts in California for both of these teams. Group games between each other, also Panama, Guadeloupe in the group. As we tick past the 3 minutes. It's Jamaica's day, it's Jamaica's group. They win 3-0 over Guatemala to go 4 wins from a possible 4 in Group E. Both sides head through to the 3rd round, but it's Jamaica with an emphatic win at home. 1 from Jonathan Russell, 2 from Warner Brown. And it's the home side who win this one 3-0. Full-time highlights from Jamaica versus Guatemala. Both teams entered the day knowing they were both headed through to the 3rd round of Concacaf World Cup qualifying. but a chance to lay down a marker, win the group, and tee up their Gold Cup match that starts in just 6 days' time. There were a few early opportunities for Guatemala, who controlled possession for the first 10-15 minutes of the match, but really that's when things would begin to turn and head the way of the Reggae Boys. Leon Bailey very involved in things, trying to open the scoring himself. Nicholas Hagen in net, tested a number of times today by Jamaica. It was Leon Bailey on this near side right winger attacking things. This delivery would end up finding Warner Brown. He couldn't put that one home, but put a pin in that. Warner Brown with a chance to try and score a goal. This one will be moved out by Damari Gray towards Leon Bailey, and you'll see a late run from Jonathan Russell is the one he finds. It's a beautiful header down by Russell for a third goal for Jamaica. For him in his career, the first on the day for the Reggae Boys, and things would continue to go from good to good. Jamaica take a 1-0 lead in the first half, courtesy of that really well-placed ball from Leon Bailey. Another goal for Russell, scored in the Unity Cup final against Nigeria, follows up with a goal here today. Another chance for Warner Brown on Ronaldo Cephas's very dangerous delivery. This moved out to Leon Bailey, who was trying to get one himself. Another great save by Hagen, able to get something on this one to keep it at 1-0. But a short corner would turn disastrous for Guatemala. There's a foul in the area. Easy decision for the referee to make. Eric Lemus fouling Damari Gray. Now, Leon Bailey would have his penalty saved by Nicholas Hagen, but the shot is put home by Warner Brown, coming from a late position, able to just knock it into the back of the net and make things 2-0 before halftime. Clinical from the Jamaican side, able to double up that advantage. It was a half they controlled, and leading 2-0 at the break just feels twice as good. Warner Brown back-to-back goals in World Cup qualifying. At that point had 3 for his country. We go now to the second 45 minutes. Again, Ronaldo Cephas popping up in a number of positions. Near side, far side, through the middle. This delivery picks out Richard King at the back post, and his shot trying to place it at that near post. Just not able to beat it, and it strikes off the upright, going out for a goal kick. This was a beautiful ball in from Damari Gray, and that is some finish from Warner Brown to double up on himself for the day. Makes things 3-0 for Jamaica. And they would see things out at that exact score. But Jamaica, 3 goals to the good. Another shutout, 3 of those. At this stage of qualifying, 12 points. They finish top of Group E. Full-time stats read positively up and down the board. But Jamaica finished things with 4 consecutive wins in this stage. Both sides head to the 3rd round, and they meet for a rematch in 6 days' time in the Gold Cup. Our final score from Independence Park, it is Jamaica 3, Guatemala 0.
Faltan 15. Yo ya lo eché a contar.
Martes 10 de junio, el profesor Reinaldo Rueda, como es habitual. Buenas noches. Contra Antigua y Barbuda acá en el Chelato. Vemos a los futbolistas llegando al estadio. Buenas. Ganar con más solvencia este duelo en casa ante su gente en su cancha. Así llega Honduras al Chelato 3. Para cerrar la fase 2 de la eliminatoria mundialista. Ya les hemos confirmado el 11 titular del equipo hondureño para el partido de esta noche.